Joining us now to review some of the headlines of today's newspapers from around the world is Arise News analyst Emmanuel Efeni, the great Malabite. Good morning, Emmanuel.
Good morning, Dr. Abati.
I missed you yesterday.
Yes, I did also.
Good to see you today.
Although some people were speculating, is it fuel scarcity that has... I said no. I had to correct them sharply. They were slightly indisposed, but you are cool today.
Yeah.
Good to see you, my brother. Now we'll start the review with this day, Nigeria's newspaper of record. We look at the lead story. Ganduje, no vacancy in Aso Rock in 2027. Discloses Tinubu battling with previous government's policy somersaults. Ayedatiwa receives certificate of return. Kano court fixes May 16 to decide on charge service in ex-governor's graft case. Where APC chairman Abdullahi Ganduje, this kind of familiar talk, no vacancy in Aso Rock in 2027. That is not how democracy works. I hope you should know. After 4 years, there's vacancy. Nigerians are the ones who decide who should occupy the office of the president, and we do so in a general election, a presidential election, unless Abdullahi Ganduje and his co-travelers don't believe that Nigerians do vote for their presidents. I don't think I'll have to say too much on that. But in 2027, the term given to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the mandate, lasts for 4 years, after which there has to be another elections. There will be contestants. And if Nigerians want President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to continue, they will say so with their votes. And if not, they will vote another person. After all, a president, President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, was voted out of power. It can happen again. The job of picking the next president belong to Nigerians, not in one corner in APC secretariat. But I can understand why Abdullahi Ganduje is going that route. After all these various headlines, Ganduje to appear here, to appear in court, suspended by local government ward chairman and all that. It's a good way to distract from that. Anyway, now, the Blueprint newspaper. Our economy has gone beyond phase of sabotage. Tinubu, APC-led government tackling disjointed decisions of the past. Ganduje. Now, if we look at the Nigerian Tribune newspaper quickly, yes, I just take 2 stories there. The lead story, FX crisis. EFCC freezes 1,146 individual company accounts. Account holders accused of illegal forex dealings, terrorism financing, money laundering. We hope when the FCC investigates these account owners, they will be taken before the court to answer for the alleged crimes for which these accounts are being frozen right now. Now, if we look at one story just above the masthead, Labour said to picket airlines over refusal to unionize workers, and Edo to pay 70,000 naira minimum wage. Governor Obaseki, well, he has done something right again for the Nigerian workers. And I'm sure this is without prejudice to the ongoing negotiation for a new minimum wage, which the tripartite committee of government, labor, and the organized private sector are doing right now. And at the end of that, there will be a new minimum wage that will become law. But what Godwin Obaseki, governor of Edo State, has done for Edo workers, I'm sure it is also salutary. He did that yesterday at a launch, the commissioning of Labour House, named after his predecessor, Adams Aliu Oshimole, who was also president of the Nigerian Labour Congress at a time. Now, the New Telegraph newspaper, ex-governor, ex-Sokoto governor, we seek permission from bandits to farm on our lands. Says terrorists allocate farming portions to landowners. Wants food security mirage unless insecurity is addressed. Our food security is not tied to the security of the nation. And the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu knows that. So we cannot wish for food security while people who farm cannot go to their farms. They are at the mercy of bandits who determine whether they can even harvest the crops they have planted. It is that bad in this country, in Nigeria. Now, let's look at the Business Day newspaper. Lives at risk as 26.3 billion naira medical emergency fund eludes hospitals. We create funds, but these funds are not properly channeled. That is the story on the front page of the Business Day. Now, the Nation newspaper, money laundering probe EFCC swoops on 1,146 bank accounts. I've taken that story earlier. Let's just look at, yes, the Punch newspaper. Yes, the story of the moment. Petrol hits 800 naira as 240 million liters vessels arrive. 5 tanker vessels offloading PMS at Lagos Port. Independent marketers sell over 800 naira per liter. Now, that story is also the same. The Vanguard newspaper, travelers, commuters groan as fuel scarcity bites harder. The Leadership newspaper, supply glitch worsens fuel scarcity nationwide. The Leadership newspaper. Now, Nigeria is about the only OPEC country, oil-producing country, that talks about fuel scarcity. Queues, no fuel. Logistics, glitch, supply glitch. When Nigeria happened to Nigerians, this is what we see. On my way to work, a lot of passengers stranded at bus stops because there are no buses. Buses are queuing at the few filling stations that are selling, waiting to get fuel. Nigeria is the only OPEC country that discusses, experiences fuel scarcity, and we give all kind of excuse. I think NNPCL, maybe somebody will say they should remove the air, let them revert to NNPC, because nothing seems to have changed in the way they do business. Opaqueness in the accounting, all this issue of the CEO of NNPCL, Melekiari, told Nigerians in 2 weeks, on the 14th of March, the petrol will start flowing from the Port Harcourt refinery, where we have spent so much money to refurbish. We are still waiting as we speak. Now, let's look at the foreign newspapers quickly. Now, the Citizens newspaper of South Africa polls a failed notice for ANC with exactly 1 month to go until South Africa goes to the ballot box. The picture for the ANC looks gloomy, with 2 in 3 voters believing the country is on the verge on the wrong path, and experts agree. They recent surveys predict the ruling party will fall below 50% as their dismal performance. Of course, that's what their dismal performance will give them. ANC, for the first time, looking shaky, may not able to form a government alone. They will have to go into coalition, either with the Democratic Alternative or the Economic Freedom Fighters of Julius Malema. But we'll watch. Now, the Times of South Africa, good night, sweet prince. The Times of South Africa will be printing its last print edition and will be online henceforth. Well, a blow to newspapering, you would say. But in this climate, in Nigeria, the newspapers are still very much on the newsstand, and elsewhere in the world. The internet did not kill the newspaper and will not kill the newspaper. Newspaper men will always fight for newspapers. But the readers, there are people who still want to touch something when they read news. Fill the newspaper for the records and all that. Now, the Financial Times, Yusuf triggers turmoil with exit as Scots First Minister. SNP 6 new start. Of course, the SNP leader quitting and the Scottish National Party. There's now a struggle for who will lead that paper. But one subject we must touch, the Daily Telegraph. Sex is a biological fact. NHS declares trans women banned from female wards under changes welcomed by campaigners. Ruben and Rufai. That is a landmark.
Very landmark,
yes.
very bold statement. But I hear we need to go. We don't have time to comment on this. Thank you so much for your time.